Well, Happy New Year, everybody. So I just wasted about 40 minutes doing a video on my laptop. I'm still trying to figure out open broadcasting system software and good settings on my Mac, but audio and video wasn't matching up, and I didn't want to throw that out there. So we're just going to do this old school with the old cellular device telephone. There we go. Maybe go right there. I don't know. This is baby Mia. Say hi. Hi, everybody. Anyway, so I just want to do a wrap up for 2018. Cover a couple different articles real quick. So right now, the total market cap is right around 127 billion. Bitcoin's hanging around $3,795, which is pretty cool. So what I did try to cover is there was an article on Decrypt Media. It was an interview with Thomas Power. I'd never heard of him until this article was exposed to me from Crypto Blood. Love following him. He's quick with his news. Anyway, so he believes that the FANG people, the FANG stocks, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, are going to take over the whole decentralized blockchain area. I don't know if I agree with him. Maybe that's okay. Anyway, he went on and said some things that I didn't completely agree with. He does have a nice little history of things. He just published a book called Tokenomics. So I'm not saying that he doesn't know anything, but he basically was saying that a good dousing in history and religion will let you know that basically the institutions end up taking over, so to speak. Just like in the .com area, only about a small percentage of them ended up hanging around and being really big, right? That's true, but the things were different, massively different back then. So I don't completely agree with him. He even thinks Vitalik Buterin will sell out to one of the large ones. Well, now he's basically saying Vitalik is the face and the head of Ethereum. News for you, Mr. Powers. Ethereum is decentralized, not controlled by anyone. Yes, Vitalik has a lot of say-so in its development, but there were a lot of people who were part of the development stages of Ethereum early on. And really, Vitalik, if you look back in history, bud, he wanted to do this stuff with Bitcoin and the Bitcoin Core / whoever else was involved with the Bitcoin Foundation. So no, we don't want to put all that, what do we call it, a decentralized autonomous organization structure into Bitcoin. He says, what's he say here? What a clever thing he created, Vitalik, an operating system that creates a financial marketplace for geeks to raise capital and fund their ideas without touching the traditional public markets. Well, yeah, people used that for Ethereum, but Ethereum goes much further than that, so that's why I don't agree with his sentiment on that. Fleshing out his thesis, he compares Ethereum platform to the evolution of Android, going all the way back to the roots in 1969 as AT&T's operating system Unix. So there is some, because Unix was eventually, right, turned into Android, which turned into Google, right? Because Android's operating system is based off Unix. A lot of it's depending on Java. But anyway, and it was purchased by Google. I don't know. I still think it's kind of a weak argument. He says that people don't want to live in a decentralized world because they don't trust it. Well, no kidding. You don't have to trust the decentralized blockchain because you just have to verify it. This is where I think there's a big disconnect with people like this. Even though he wants to believe in decentralization, he feels the general public doesn't want to. Give it time. Give it time. Open source always wins out. It always does. Look at TCP/IP. We trust it. It's open source. It's what's running our internet. Without it, we're kind of screwed. And these little guys growing up, oh, I'd love for them to grow up in a decentralized world. It'd be great. It'd be awesome. You wouldn't have to worry about being controlled by malicious governments and crazy mixed up institutions that want to sell our information. But anyway, What does he say? Let's say Zuckerberg launches Facecoin and you get a coin for every like and every share, and then well, eventually we'll turn it into the the save the world kind of FANG stocks. Oh, you're going to do this, and we're going to help save the world, and we're going to get out of here. They don't want to save the world. All they care about is their stock price, so the investors are happy. I ain't having it. Okay. Sorry, guys. Sorry about my generic setup right now. I'm going to eventually get things rocking and rolling. He still thinks we have 5 years or so to wait before blockchain emerges at scale. I think, yeah. Yeah, 5 years till we're like scaled up and we're like, 40% of the population's using dApps, He'll be, in that time, he'll be reading at least 4 hours a day, leveraging his awesome social network. Oh, well, I can say stuff on Twitter, Facebook, and people love me. Get out of here. Anyway, he does say this. I want to believe in decentralization, he says, but history tells us that half a dozen people will win the game in the end, and power is likely to know all of them. He could be right. He very well could be right. I just think the scale is leaning different this time. I think things that we're looking at are different. Okay, so I don't agree with him, but that's what he thinks is going on. CCN.com, another great place to get news. It says Bitcoin 2019, analysts see institutional investors wading into crypto. WADING, wading into crypto. Basically, the whole article summarizes a lot of things that, like, for example, you had some university institutions investing, such as Harvard, Yale, and Stanford, right? They invested some of their endowment fund money into Bitcoin. That tells you something. When the smartest people in the room are doing something, you should probably be doing what the smartest people in the room are doing. That's, I mean, I don't know. And then you have a lot of the institutions like J.P. Morgan. They got scared. They scared people off. But, you look at places like TD Ameritrade and Fidelity and Goldman Sachs. They're all getting in on the game. So it's coming. It is coming. Now, you definitely want to check this out. It goes on, it says, in September 2018, a pro-crypto lobbying group was launched in Washington, D.C. by 3 of the biggest cryptocurrency companies in the United States, Coinbase, Circle, Digital Currency Group. I encourage you to check out the Digital Currency Group. There's a lot of interesting organizations on the Digital Currency Group who are part of the Digital Currency Group. And you have to be careful. Some of those institutions and companies scare me because of the history and who controls them. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. If we want adoption to happen, some people need regulations and laws to help them. So whatever. If it has to happen, it has to happen. But I don't like it. I don't think we need regulations in a public blockchain. It regulates itself. Read the freaking Bitcoin white paper. As much of it is it's about this much technical, in my opinion, and the rest of it is an economic lesson tied in with game theory and the fact that we probably really should not have to trust anything and just verify it. So it goes on, covers a little bit about France because they need to capitalize on blockchain crypto before its international rivals China and the United States do. And anyway, so that was a little one that kind of helped summarize a little bit of the institutional side that's coming in. You do have the likes of, I'll cover it here in another article. This one is on blockchainwealth.com. It says exclusive. This will silence all the crypto bears. If you don't subscribe to Pure Blockchain Wealth, you should. They have a lot of good articles that they push out that are well researched and well written. So the meteoric ascent of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in 2017 was an amazing event to witness and participate in. While Bitcoin has fallen 85% since last December, the story of crypto is still being written. In the coming year, a major piece of the puzzle will be added to the mosaic. The missing link will add legitimacy in the minds of both retail and institutional traders. Why? Well, because crypto investors want more than anything is a sense that it's not just the wild, wild west. They need to know that transparency, protections, and regulations are in place so they can trade Bitcoin with confidence. Yes, they're looking for something called price discovery. The determination of the proper price of an asset through supply and demand without external factors such as regulatory troubles or lack of proper institutional framework. A mouthful, but this is why I like that. Because it makes sense. Retail investors, institutional traders, whatever, they want some legitimacy there so they can jump in and do what they want to and invest. Putting the world's money into perspective, maybe you've seen this before, maybe you have not. I'm going to try to show this to you best I can. Putting the world's money into perspective. And if you take a look at it, Bitcoin's very small and the whole cryptocurrency market is small. So much so that it's smaller than Amazon and Apple. Wait till it's bigger than that. Where do you think the prices are going to be then? I mean, Apple's 730 billion. Actually, they were. I'm pretty sure this is an old image because I believe Apple's the first $1 trillion market cap company. So where's that going to put cryptos at that point? Or when cryptos are the way that the stock market runs and they're traded peer to peer and not on derivatives, and we have true price discovery, and then we can verify it in the blockchain. Woo-wee! Right? That's where things are going. So when you take a look at projects, you're trying to say, well, where is all this going? If things are going to be tokenized and things are going to happen on this blockchain that we just have to simply verify and not have to trust it, and we're going to do things peer-to-peer, and we don't have to worry about the corruption and stuff going on. What's one thing that's going to happen? I seriously think security token offerings, right? So, and the barrier of entry with security token offerings are simple. They're cheap. They're very much more effective and efficient than going through all the necessary regulatory laws that are in place now. Why couldn't you write a simple smart contract that includes all that? And if I'm a mom and pop store and I want to raise money in the town of Pittsburgh, but I can't get on the New York Stock Exchange or NASDAQ or any of those other crazy exchanges, why can't I raise money through a security token offering and share the wealth, pay dividends to the people invested in me? Because I just can't get the money from just anyone, right? So why can't I let people invest in me or in my product or my company or whatever and go that route? I think that's what we're going to eventually see. So when you look at projects like Ravencoin and Polychain and Veritasium, absolutely Veritasium. Reggie Middleton is on a ball with this stuff. They have working product. Ravencoin, very cool. Bruce Fenton, OG Cypherpunk. I like me some Cypherpunks. But he also kind of caved into the whole regulatory stuff, which I don't care for. But I think he's right, though. The security token offering area is where it's at. You can go in and create some very nice, easy digital assets with Ravencoin's wallet. Definitely get some, play around with it, check it out. You can create your own digital assets and trade them with people. Very, very cool. Polychain, their whole point really is to tokenize stocks from, well, basically the way I see it. And they want to make it an easy on-ramp for companies to do so. So those are the projects you should be looking at. A lot of these ICOs, we'll decentralize this, that, and whatever. Does it need to be decentralized? Ask yourself, what's the benefit of this being decentralized? If it's something that can benefit the people or a company due to its decentralization, then yes. If it's something that would help the verification side and help eliminate some corruption, then yes, absolutely, we should go that route. But a lot of things don't need to be decentralized. But there are a lot of things that benefit from it that do. So ask yourself those questions. Do your own research. Don't be a little fussy-wussy baby about it. Anyway, so Pure Blockchain Wealth goes on, and they talked about NASDAQ getting into their futures contracts in January. ICE, or backed January 24th was the latest date we heard for them to do their futures contracts. Well, what's nice about backed is they're actually settling their contracts in actual Bitcoin, unlike the CME and CBOE that are just paper contracts, and they just settle it in cash, so they can trade futures contracts on more Bitcoin than what's actually out there. With backed, they're going to be taking that Bitcoin out of the market, so there's going to be a scarcity issue, and which, when things are scarce, price goes up, right? So eventually this legitimacy will bring some trust to the whole, people will trust the blockchain. Well, if they would actually educate themselves and take some responsibility for themselves, they would know that you don't have to trust the blockchain. They simply verify. Do not trust, verify. It's all math, people. 1 + 1 will always be 2. And if you ever look at how Bitcoin's blockchain works, or you could actually look up Andreas Antonopoulos, and he has a, I have to look up the video and cover it for you, or at least go over the gist of it, but he really goes through how the encryption side works, and how how new bitcoins are created, and how a block is created. Like, and it's simple to understand, but it's unbelievable how beautiful that puzzle was put together to create Bitcoin, which has spurred this whole blockchain revolution. So hang in there. 2019 should be a little bit different, with, especially if the institutional money institutions come in and things go smoothly, which they probably should. It'll all be good. And last but not least, I covered, now this is funny, I do a 40-minute video and I can trim it down to like a third of that because I cut out all the fluff. Anyway, Cardano will be coming to the ledger, okay, and they're going to make it easy for you to transfer from your Daedalus desktop wallet on over to the Ledger Nano, which is great. Cold storage is better. If you have any crypto, if you are investing long term, spend the money on a hardware wallet, please. Or if you have a laptop that isn't going to touch the internet, okay, don't let it ever touch the internet. You can download the Armory open source software for cold storage. Okay, it's nice because it also has multi-sig built into it, which is even makes it more secure. So let's just say somebody breaks into your house, okay, and they want to steal your crypto, and they say, "Oh, what's that laptop doing? I'm gonna take that with me." Go right ahead. I don't freaking care. Because guess what? You still need a signature from someone else. You don't know who it is. So what are you going to do? Kill everyone? You ain't getting my crypto. Right? More secure than a bank. Just saying. Just saying. We just got to verify. Anyway, other thing. January 3rd. Don't forget. Proof of keys. I did a little Twas the Night Before Proof of Keys. Go check that out. Just had a little bit of fun with it. Sat down and wrote it out in a day. It was the night before Proof of Keys, and all through the land, the hodlers were smiling because they had their private keys in their hands. Yeah, go check it out. Make sure you pull your crypto off the freaking exchanges, people. Don't let it hang out. You're going to lose out. All right? Happy New Year, everyone. I go taking care of little baby Mia. She's all hungry. She's all belly. She's going to be full. You should see her chubby legs. They're chubby. Anyway, go have fun with your friends and family, or whoever you're hanging out with here New Year's. Be safe. Don't eat too much pork and sauerkraut or whatever you eat. Fish. Whatever your celebration is on New Year's. Maybe you just drink. That's cool. Whatever you want to do. But be safe. Love one another. Please love one another. That's the most important thing. Love your spouse. Love your family. Love yourself. And love everyone equally. Treat them fairly. Love them deeply, and have a wonderful, blessed New Year. I wish you all the best of luck in 2019, and I am really hoping to get out daily videos. Maybe not daily, but at least a couple a week. So I hope you're all doing well. I love you all very much, and Happy New Year.